again with North Tech Stone and Ceramic. What I'm going to talk to everybody about today are the different types of tile that are available for you to choose from. There are basically 3 or 4 different types, maybe 5. I'm going to start with the porcelains to begin with. And what we have with porcelain tile is it's been very popular lately. Most of the factories have been moving away from other tile, other materials, and making the majority of their tile with porcelain clays. And so in the porcelain category, what we have are a few different options. And what I'm going to show you here first is this one on the end. And this is a wood plank look. And it is a porcelain body capped with a glazed ceramic surface. And so what happens is you have a porcelain body with a glazed ceramic surface on top. It generally is less expensive than the porcelain through body tile. It's not as tough generally as the porcelain through body, and the pricing reflects that. Generally, it's a little less expensive. So that's one area where you can start, one category, a little bit of a lower end category. As you move forward, you move into something like this again, another glazed porcelain, which if you look at it, and I can get you to come in a little closer, you can see the actual colored body on there, the speckled body, which is the porcelain clay right through. However, right on the top, a millimeter or 2 maybe, is the actual glazing. Again, glazed porcelain. There's another surface on top of that. And again, it would be like the wood plank. This is a wood plank, and this is a natural stone kind of look tile that you would see. But again, with the glazed surface, sometimes can be a little bit more economical, sometimes not, but they're not as tough as the full body porcelains. So from there, I'm going to move on to this type of tile over here. This type of tile is your rectified porcelain. Again, we're showing it here in a wood plank look. The rectified porcelains are cut very sharp and very square. Again, you're dealing with porcelain clay right through the whole body of the tile. Okay, and you can see that here. This is the porcelain clay right through. And the very top of it is where they inject the color and the pattern in order to make this right here. This is the color of the tile, maybe the texture of the tile, the stamps. It's in the first millimeter or so of the tile, a couple millimeters. But again, because it's full body right through, much tougher than the glazed tile. As we move forward again, this is the type of tile that is used a lot commercially. And in commercial applications, because there's a lot of wear and tear on different surfaces, they want something extremely strong that can withstand a lot of traffic, shopping malls, anything with high traffic volume. And so what you see here is the body of the tile and the top of the tile are the same right through. So no matter how far you wear this thing down, it's colored through. If you chip it, it's colored through. So that's a positive for this. And it's full porcelain right through. Over here, you're seeing it again. This is a mosaic tile, which can be used. We use them in shower floors a lot and whatnot. They can be used as a decorative and whatnot. But this again, you're noticing the color of the body goes right through the tile. Top to bottom. There is no color just on top. It's right through. That's a full body porcelain, extremely strong. You don't see it as much anymore. but they're still out there, and for commercial applications, they work really well. As you move forward over here, again, you're coming into the ceramic now tile. And the ceramic tile are used, there used to be even ceramic tile for floor. They were just like a reddish clay tile or a white body clay tile. They were ceramic. You don't see them much anymore because the factories have moved on to tooling the way they make tile with porcelain clays. So this way they use one type of material to make all their products. And it's also better, it's stronger, it's tougher, it takes a beating. Whereas the ceramic wears a lot easier. This here, for example, is a ceramic wall tile, which you see quite a bit now too. A lot of people will use the porcelains on the walls now, so you can use either or. However, you can't use this on a floor. It's not tough enough. This is generally a wall tile. The porcelains, you can use them floor and wall, no problem. And these, they make a lot of decorative wall tile like this, a lot of plain wall tile like this. Because you're not walking on the wall, this is fine. Again, another choice over here. This is just a standard type of backsplash tile that you'll see. Again, with the clay body, a ceramic clay body, and a glazing of the color on top. Very simple. Lastly, what we're looking at over here are tile made out of glass. Now, glass is glass. And this, for example, is a backsplash tile that we've used quite a bit in a glass material. It is nice for backsplashes and whatnot, not used on floors very often, okay? This one here is recycled glass, which could be used sometimes on a shower floor in some instances, or decoratives on the wall. Shower floor can be used because there's a lot of grout for grip. And you're not really tracking sand and stuff in a shower. Glass, we generally don't use it on a floor simply because it'll scratch and it'll look terrible after a while. So glass is glass, great for a backsplash, great for maybe a shower floor in this recycled version where you have a lot of grout, but generally, in most cases, allocated to walls. So another thing we can talk about is the variegation with tile. So tile that has a lot of, tile that's not consistent. So tile that has a lot of different patterns to it. And one example would be right here, which is a tile that, if you notice from piece to piece, and within the tile, there's a lot of different pattern and look. That would be a highly variegated tile. They would be given a V rating for variegated, and the rating would go from, let's say, 1 to 4 or 5, depending on the amount of variation within the tile. So 1 being minor variation or none, and 4 or 5 being, extreme. And it would work along that scale. So when you're looking at a tile, you need to keep that in mind, especially if you're just looking at a sample board versus a panel. If you're only looking at one tile, for example, if I take this tile, this is a good example, and I put it here, okay? You come in and shop, believe it or not, that's the same product. So you go into a store looking at that, hoping to get that, and you may end up with this. So again, be aware and look at the V rating, the variegation rating of the tile before you make a decision to buy. So that's a little background on different tile types and whatnot, and that's it for now.